Hello guys and gals of the internet, I'm the Simicals of YouTube, Mixer and Twitch TV. Back on Team Maker once again. We have done the games. Now it is time for the characters in the Resident Evil series, and all rules from the previous one stand for this one as well. So we can get right to it then. Now, Ada Wong is first, and Ada Wong is pretty simple, to be honest. I don't think she's the double S. I don't think she's top tier character. Or maybe she is. Maybe it's just her intrigue and her story that she's been throughout the Resident Evil series. Maybe on her own earns her like an S rank, and then her more than platonic feelings for Leon probably bump it up a couple of notches for me. So, actually, I think Ada Wong is double S. Actually, I don't think there's much debate on that. She is one of the fan favorites in this series, and I agree with that. So, I think that's pretty easy to start. Now, I'm pretty sure this second guy, I believe, is Nikolai Victor. Now, I didn't play the original Resident Evil 3, so I can't really vouch for his character. It's tough because, you know, I didn't really have a lot of bonding with his character, and he's not someone that anyone else really got to bond with for various reasons. So I think for that, I think we're going to put him in a C, and I'm probably going to do that with a lot of the characters I don't really know. I'm going to make them a C because they're not necessarily bad characters, but I don't necessarily know anything about them. But they're not terrible characters. So I think anyone that is in this category will get put into C. I'm assuming this is OG Claire Redfield, voiced by Alyson Court. If that's the case, then hell yeah. Alyson Court is Claire Redfield, and yeah, I think, judging by the top and the jeans, I would assume that's OG Claire Redfield, and the one here is a later iteration. I'm guessing. If that is OG Claire, then top tier, no debates. No debates. Claire Redfield as Alyson Court wins me over 100 times. I'm not sure who this guy is. I think he's one of the Umbrella operatives that isn't Hunk. Nope, he's not Hunk. Yeah, I think he'll be another C because I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know why he's even here. He's probably... He could be one of the Operation Raccoon City soldiers, but I'm not sure. Ashley Graham from Resident Evil 4. A lot of people hate her. I'm not sure why. I think it's probably more her character, more than anything else. I guess to a degree she is kind of useless in that she can never defend herself at all. You know, and then you put her against Sherry, or what's another example I could think of? Moira, maybe. And Sherry and Moira were more resilient than Ashley was in Resident Evil 4. But I don't think she's truly awful. I think the thing with Ashley is she just can't defend herself. You've got to kind of babysit her all through the game, apart from the one segment where you actually get to play as her for a bit. So I don't hate her, and I don't think she's one of the worst characters in the series. I think it's just the fact she can't defend herself. So I think she's a C, and she's probably the best C of the bunch on that. We may change this later, but I think the fact that we've got to babysit her the entire game really just makes her ineffective for anything. I mean, you could probably understand that to a degree, but like I said, Moira and Sherry were more than resilient, and Sherry was an 8-year-old. So, yeah, you kind of get the idea. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh there. Maybe I should put her as B. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Barry Burton is easy. Double S. It's Barry fucking Burton. You know, it's easy. It's easy. This guy is one of the main bosses from Resident Evil 4. His form was pretty awesome to fight. He had a pretty awesome fight scene. He's not a really memorable character, but he had an awesome boss fight. So I think for that, we're going to put this guy in B, I think. Now, see, this is a tough one. Carlos Olivier, this is OG Carlos. But there is no version on this tier of newer Carlos voiced by Jeff Schnee. But I'm going to put Carlos at S, and the reason is Jeff Schnee as Carlos in Resident Evil 3 Remake won me over with Here You Go Super Cup. He won me on that. So he's my boy. He's an S character for sure. The only reason it doesn't get double S is probably because of his OG form. His OG was a bit of like the first Steve Burnside. You know, he was a bit of a dork. I mean, he's not as much of a dork as Steve Burnside, to be fair to him. You know, he's a bit more hardened. Steve Burnside isn't on this list, I don't think. I don't see him, which is a bit unfortunate. But yeah, I think Jeff Schnee's interpretation of Carlos is much better than OG Carlos. But here you go, Super Cup. He won me over. So I think we're going to give him an S, even though it is OG Carlos. There's no more recent Carlos here, so we'll just count it as newer Carlos and give him an S character, because that's where I would have put him had it been newer Carlos, and he's not here. So yeah, that's why he goes there. Alexa from Resident Evil 5. I think she's another C, basically because she's not really rememberable. She doesn't really have a stick out scene. She's basically Wesker's sidekick, and that's it. But again, I don't think she's overly awful. So I think we're gonna put her as. I think maybe we should put her as a D, because she's not totally awful, but she doesn't really. She has nothing where she sticks out. She basically just bows to Wesker's feet, and that's it. You know, she doesn't really have anything that sticks out. So, Helena Harper. Now I have a gripe with Helena Harper, and I think it's the gripe that everyone has with Helena Harper, in where she kind of pretty much replaces Claire Redfield. A Game Sins video put it best. Helena Harper replaces Claire Redfield. And to be honest, that does gnaw at me a little bit, especially when they're on the plane and Capcom decide to really stick it to Claire Redfield fans by having Helena dress up in very similar clothes to Claire Redfield. And that just gnaws at me a little bit, being a Claire Redfield fanboy. Well, a big fan, I should say. It would be unfair to kind of downgrade her to D or F just for that reason, because her character is very evasive to Leon in the first place, though. The thing with Helena Harper is she's very evasive to Leon in the first part of his story. She's with us the entire time. She has no problem with Leon kind of being more than friends with Ada, so that scores her an extra point, because that makes sense. B or C, I'm thinking. Because, well, maybe an A, actually. Maybe Helena's actually better than most of the guys we have in the, characters we have here. I'll put her as A for now, and we'll see who she kind of sits in this tier with, and we'll make up our minds. But I don't think she's lower than a B, honestly. You know, but she's just very evasive. But you know, we can't deduct points on her AI, because her AI is Resident Evil 6's AI, which is terrible. You can't deduct the points for that. It's not really fair. So you know, she's cool. She doesn't really stick out. And the thing with wearing Claire's clothes does annoy me a little bit, but that's not her fault. That's that's Capcom at that point. So maybe I'll put her at B. Maybe. I mean, like I said, she sticks out much better than, say, these two and Alexa here, and Ashley. She's better than Ashley. So yeah, I think we'll go for top B on that one. Hunk is easy. Double S, it's Hunk. Easy. Emma Halligan, again, she's another one that doesn't have anything that really sticks out. So I think she's going to be another C, because she does feature prominently in the series. I mean, from the midpoint of about Resident Evil 4, she's completely out for most of it, and she's only on Survivors in Resident Evil 6, but again, she doesn't really have a stick out moment. I think she gets an extra point for like saying that Helena wasn't the cause of the Resident Evil 6 chaos, so that's a thing. I think she's top C first. Probably, yeah, she's probably top C. I don't think she's anything bigger than that. It's not that I hate her, you know. It's just, again, she doesn't really have a moment that sticks out to me in the series so far. Krauser. Krauser's pretty sick. He has a really good kind of story with Leon in Resident Evil Darkside Chronicles. He's probably one of the main bosses of Resident Evil 4. A character. I think. I don't, like I said, I don't think he's here because, you know, he's boss. I wish we, again, maybe he's a B, and it's simply because we don't really have a lot on him. And again, he doesn't really stick out, and then Resident Evil 4 happens. So he's probably a B, actually. Jake Muller's an A. He's sick. He's voiced by Troy Baker. He might even be an S, actually. He might even be an S because of that, because Troy Baker does do brilliantly with him. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in S. It's Jake Muller, son of Albert Wesker. He's boss. His fighting style is awesome. Yeah, he's pretty much S for me. Yeah, I would definitely say that. Jill Valentine, easily double S. Jill Valentine, she's my girl. No, well that kind of goes to Claire, but still, you know, Jill Valentine, double S, no questions asked. Louis Serra, his death always seems to surprise me in Resident Evil 4. He's kind of the comic relief, you know. He has a couple of cool lines, but again, because of what happens, he doesn't really get his time to stick out. But I think he is awesome. He does defend Leon in the house, and, you know, he does have the one or two jokes about Ashley down here. So I'll probably put Lewis in A and be fair. Now who's this? I think it's another one of the countermeasure service. I'm assuming is that Nikolai and that's the other one? Or is that Nikhail and that's Nikolai? I'm not sure. I can't distinguish the two. They look almost exactly the same. So I think I'll put him in C, simply for that, actually. Maura Burton is a Burton, obviously, but she's not Barry Burton. I don't think she leaves the lasting impact as such, not as much as Barry did. So I think I'm gonna put Maura in A, because she grew on me. She grew on me for Resident Evil Revelations 2. She's probably one of the best characters in it, aside from Claire, of course. She's probably like one of the three best characters in it. When you put her next to Claire and Barry, she kind of did the third cool character role. So yeah, I'll give her an A. Tyrant from Resident Evil 2. Is he better than Nemesis? It depends. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Tyrant at S, because his Resident Evil 2 form in both games is actually really decent. He's more scripted in original RE2, but that's obviously due to the limitations of what they have with the game. Nemesis is Nemesis double S? Because again, Nemesis in Resident Evil 3 remake is worse than 3, so it kind of loses him some points. I don't know. I think Nemesis is I think we have to put him in double S. I think he's top villain that isn't Wesker, I guess. Yeah, I think we can go with that. Oh, Salazar, isn't it? This is Salazar. Yeah, he's a whiny bitch. He's a whiny bitch. I think he's D. I don't think. Nah, he's obviously the bad guy. He has a cool boss form though in Resident Evil 4, so he's not the worst. But yeah, I think he's a D. He's a whiny bitch, and he does have a cool boss kind of thing that does redeem him a little bit. I'm assuming this is not Morgan, the other one. This is the boss from Resident Evil Revelations. I hate this boss fight. If that is the guy from Resident Evil Revelations 1, he goes in F, because I absolutely hate his boss fight. He's terrible. He kind of turns up at the end of the game as, oh, I'm co-conspirating with the FBZ member, and then his boss fight sucks dick. His boss fight is terrible. It takes too goddamn long. I don't think he's a terrible boss, but the fight is just so fucking long. It's so time consuming. So I think we're gonna put him at F. Joss Stone is awesome. He picks up Jill right out of time and escapes her in desperate escape, so that earns him some brownie points. So I think he's a B. He's pretty much the Resident Evil 5 version of Elena. You know, he doesn't really stick out, but he earns brownie points for saving Jill. So he's okay in my book. Albert Wesker, he's Albert fucking Wesker. You can't. This is so easy. He's Albert fucking Wesker, dude. So, yeah, he goes here. No question. Rebecca Chambers, I love this nugget. Yeah, she's S. Rebecca Chambers, obviously, in Resident Evil 1, with the corny and cheesy writing, she's obviously made to... It's amazing to think that she's the youngest member of the entire STARS unit at just 16 years old. That's quite an achievement, to be fair. So I think Rebecca Chambers is S. I really kind of wish that we got to see more of her. She's more of the underrated character in the series to me. Rebecca Chambers. I wish we had more of her, to be honest. I think there's probably either a graphic novel or something that she's in, but I don't think she's been in a game since Resident Evil 0. And that was a long time ago. So yeah. Brad Vickers, he's a bit of a douchebag. The way he leaves Chris and Jill to fight in the mansion by themselves, and then kind of gets his comeuppance at the remake, I suppose, when they're walking down the street and Brad is waving to a helicopter. So I guess to that degree, you know, he gets his comeuppance there. He really doesn't stick out, to be honest. I don't think he's A. He's probably... I think he might be here. I think he might be C. Maybe because he doesn't really stick out? You know him, but he doesn't... Apart from telling Nina's Nemesis to the face, he doesn't really do much else. He pilots the chopper, he takes them away, and that's it. Until Resident Evil 3 when he takes Nemesis' fist to the face. So, poor Brad. I mean, I guess his cameo in Resident Evil 2 is pretty decent. So that probably earns him some brownie points. Yeah, I think C is fair. I could be wrong, but I don't think Brad Vickers has really another standout moment. Leon Kennedy, easy. Easy. He's an A. He's a double S. He's Leon Kennedy. I mean, is he though? I mean, is he really? Yeah. I think he is. I think he's double S. It's pretty simple for on, I think. Oh, Chris Redfield. I love him, but it's sad because I feel since Resident Evil 6 they've butchered his character, and I don't like that. Chris from Resident Evil 6 really starts to lose his coolness for me. I don't want to put him in lower than SS because of Claire, but I'm gonna do it. But I will agree that Resident Evil 6, since then, his character has been butchered, and I don't think that's Chris's fault necessarily. Roger Craig Smith does a great job with him too. He does a great job with the lines he's given. But as much as I can't leave him out of SS with Claire, it just wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right. Even though I don't really like his character from 6 onwards, it kind of But you know, I think Chris had such an awesome start. Resident Evil 5, as much as people hate that game and him punching boulders, I think it makes sense. He rescued Claire from Rockford Island. Yeah, I think he gets a double S, basically more from 1 to through Code Veronica, or maybe even 5, and then Chris from Resident Evil 6 onwards would drop points. But we're gonna go overall. I think he's still double S for that reason. I think he's because he's had more good games than bad. This guy's a D. It's Irving from Resident Evil 5. Doesn't have the coolest of boss fights. And yeah, he's D. I think he might even be F because he doesn't have the greatest of boss fights. So yeah, I think we'll give him an F. Sadler, again, he really screws himself. Because it's quite funny because he goes, "Oh, I'm going to take the daughter back to the president with the virus," and then he tries everything in his power to stop Leon like a dumb villain. I'll put him in D. I don't think he's horrendous, but he's pretty dumb. He's pretty dumb. Oh, easy peasy. Sherry Birkin, my little nugget, double S character. I don't even need to explain why. I've already said it before, Sherry Birkin was the first character I ever cared about at my young age. Like I said, I saw in Resident Evil 2 and had an oath to protect this little nugget for the rest of my life. And Sherry's development, most of it has been off screen, and then Resident Evil 6 finally did her justice. And yeah, it's right, it's no debate. With double S for me. That's my personal opinion anyway. Sheva Alomar is actually quite awesome. I think she's A, personally. I think she's A. I kind of wish we got a little bit more of her, but you can understand why we didn't, I guess. So yeah, I think she's A. Albert fucking Wesker. Oh, we got 2 Weskers. Why have we got 2 Weskers in this thing? That's weird. Well, in that case, we'll take that one off and put that one in. Well, no, it's the same guy. I don't know why has someone got 2 Weskers. So I guess this is Resident Evil 1 through Code Veronica Wesker, and then this is Resident Evil 5 Wesker. I guess, right? So 1 through Code Veronica Wesker is awesome. Resident Evil 5 Wesker to me is awesome, but not as awesome. So I would say I have to rearrange this a little bit. Jill ahead of Chris, I think. Yeah, Jill ahead of Chris. Claire ahead of them all. Yeah, that's probably how I would do it. Barry, Leon. Yeah. Okay, now we're there. We got another Leon here. This person has got more than one character. Okay, so we're gonna leave these 2 because they're the same person. We're gonna leave this Claire as well, because I think this is Claire. If this is not Claire, and that is, then Claire goes there anyway. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. But seeing as that's the face I know is Claire, and this one isn't as clear, I'm gonna put this one here because at least with here we know what Claire looks like. I would like to think that that's Claire with the jacket and the shirt and the jeans there, but seeing as that this is actually clearly Claire looking at us, I'm gonna put that Claire there. We'll put that Wesker. Yeah. This is the chick from the Resident Evil movie, but I don't really know, so I think we're just gonna leave her down here as well because I don't really know her that well. So I think, well, the movies are terrible. So do we put her down in D because the movies are terrible? I mean, that's not her fault. I haven't seen the movies, so I don't know. See, because I haven't seen the movies. So I think we'll just put her there for the sake of that she was in the movies, and they suck, generally. Ethan Winters, I believe this is. And I said this in Resident Evil 7. Mia and Ethan Winters don't really stick out as characters to me, so Ethan Winters is a C. Evelyn Baker, I think her reveal was cool, and that is about it. I think it's another C. Zoe, fuck Zoe. Seriously, I don't even care. I don't even care. Zoe is in the game for all of 5 minutes and gets absolutely nothing, and the one thing she makes you do is choose between her and a man's wife. So screw her, because it's a stupid choice. I don't mean to screw her as in like she's bad or anything, but she gets all of 5 minutes in Resident Evil 7 and makes you do the stupidest of choices. Of course, the Ethan is going to pick his wife. It makes sense. I mean, what the hell? But yeah, Zoe isn't a bad character, but her purposefulness is... I guess she's a D because she does help Ethan make the virus. I guess she's not completely hateable. I don't think she's hateable, but the choice you get put in is just stupid. And I'm not really... Yeah, Zoe forces him to choose, and... Yeah, I don't know, man. If I put her here, I might have to put her there, because... Yeah. Personally, I think she's probably here. She's probably here, I would say. I really don't know who this chick is. I don't think that's fair, because I haven't seen the movies. So I'm gonna leave her down here, actually. Fuck. It's Jack, isn't it? Jack Baker. So his boss fight is pretty awesome. I think, again, it's a C. In fact, he might even be a B, because he's pretty good. He's actually, I think Jack Baker would be a B, simply because his forms in his boss fights are pretty awesome. The one you have a Gears of War discount battle with, and the end boss with him is great. It's a great testament to the graphics engine in the RE engine. So I would actually think Jack Baker is a B. Lucas Baker is a C. He's a bit of a nut job. Yeah, I would think Lucas is a C. He's got the coolest accent, in the game. Again, Marguerite's a C, and Mia Winters is a C as well. Because, like I said, with Ethan and Mia, you really don't get anything with them. I guess Mia is slightly better than Ethan, because Mia has more to her than Ethan does. But yeah, I wouldn't put... I would put him here. I'm Krauser. That's pretty correct. And in fact, I think Sheva might be just ahead of Moira, just. Rebecca Chambers. Rebecca there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you got that right. And yes. Okay, I think we're done. That was pretty simple, actually. I really want to think that this is OG Claire and put her here. I really do. I really want to think that's OG Claire and put her there. Because this is the same Leon. If this was Resident Evil 2 Leon, I would probably put him in A as well. And if this was like Code Veronica 1 through Code Veronica Wesker, I'd put him like here as well. I really want to think that's OG Claire, but I don't. I want to. If I put her there, then and it's not her, then I've screwed up. Yeah, I think that's pretty correct. I think. In fact, I would probably put these guys, maybe him, in front of these guys. Would it? I would probably put Mia in front of Ashley. I think I would. Brad is top C, yeah, because it's Brad. Don't know who these guys are, so I'd probably put these ahead of these as well. I mean, this might even be the same guy, so I think I'm going to take him out as well, because he looks like the same guy to me. Weirdly. It's a great tier, but someone's really done repetitive characters a couple of times, and it's left me a bit confused. I did look around for other ones, but other ones were either didn't have enough characters, or had probably too many that probably would have taken up the length of this video. No, that was a different one entirely. There was quite a long one that had the games in it, and that wouldn't have pretty worked out. That would have been pretty confusing. So I decided to go with this one in the end. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, if this had been Resident Evil remake Carlos, I probably would have put him in double S, because Jeff Schnee does great with cars in that game. So, yeah. But like I said, it doesn't really matter because it's the same guy. But Jeff Schnee made Carlos cool. You know, he was already cool, but Jeff Schnee made him cooler. So, and that's why he gets like S. So yeah, looking at that, that's pretty much it for episode 2 of Tier Makers. So we've done the Resident Evil games, we've done the Resident Evil characters. I'm not really sure what'll be next. It depends on what I'm doing at any certain point, but this will not be the last time I jump into this. I've said this before, this might actually turn into a bit of a series. Because I actually really enjoyed the last one, and I really enjoyed this one. So, I've got a few more things I could do with it. So, yeah, this definitely won't be the last time we go on Tier Maker. But that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Follow, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Ring the bell for video notifications. Social media is down in the description of every video I upload. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you next time. Until then, guys, stay safe and stay awesome. This is Chaos, signing off.